Here we are back. We're still on critical thinking. We just want to look at a few basic things regarding fact and opinions now. So understanding facts and opinions. You'll be hearing people say, it's a fact, it's a fact, it's a fact. And young people who love football, particularly when they argue between Ronaldo and Messi, it's a fact, it's a fact. People want to emphasize what they say to other people, it's a fact. People also talk about opinions, that everybody has one, just like noses. So we hear of facts, we hear of opinions. We might have taken these for granted for some time, but maybe we want to have a more critical look at what facts are and what opinions are, and how we can differentiate between the two, and how we would not fall victim to saying of a fact as though it were opinion, and of an opinion as though it were a fact. We'll be able to put them each where it belongs. So facts. What is a fact? A fact is a statement that can be proved true or false. What that means is that if a statement, information, something is proved to be true, it is a fact. If it is proved false, not to be true, it is not a fact. So this point I'm holding is a mobile phone. If people observe this, that, it's not a mobile phone, then it's not a fact. But if it turns out to be a mobile phone, then that would be true. So a statement that can be proved to be true is a fact. If it is false, it's not a fact. Now, how do we prove a fact? First, by definition. Is it that you define the thing yourself? No. When we say by definition, we mean by standardize a claim definition that is universal, not necessarily the way you put it. And then it can be proved by observation. Of course, most of the definitions given to things come out of observation, where people take time to look at things for a long time and making sure that the idea or thought or things are looked at holistically, so the conclusion can be concretized and held as the absolute truth or fact. So for example, ever since you were born, even before you were born, people have observed that based on rotation of the earth, the sun rises from the east. And throughout your life, you have never seen the sun rising from the north, the south, or the west. So it is a fact, without a doubt, that the sun rises from the east. So it's proved by observation. Then we come to opinion. Opinions cannot be proved. That is why they remain like the nose, everybody has one. Opinions cannot be proved. Then a question could rise. Somebody could ask, what if opinions are proved? And that's a very thoughtful question. If we say that opinions cannot be proved, what if they are proved? What do you think about that question? What if opinions are proved? What happens? The natural conclusion is that they will become a fact. We saw earlier that facts can be proved by definition, can be proved by observation. And we came to see that opinions cannot be proved. And then the question comes, what if they are proved? A natural answer will be that then they become a fact. But wait a minute. If opinions cannot be proved, then the question, what if they are proved, does not exist. Is irrelevant. The thing cannot be proved, and the question as to what if it is proved does not exist. Because simply put, opinions cannot be proved. So, what that means is that if something that has been taken as opinion has been proved, then it actually means that the error is not on the thing. The mistake is from us. Because it is people who assume that this is not a fact, but it turns out to be one. So what it means is that fact remains fact. Opinions remain opinion. It is up to us to tell whether we make a mistake in thinking a fact for opinion or an opinion for a fact. For example, the world has always been spherical. But many years ago, even some scientists thought that the earth was flat. And so when Galileo used his telescope to find that no, the earth must be at least something round, spherical. You read about Galileo in history, he was put under house arrest. Because that was almost a crime to say that the earth was spherical. And in those days, if you went for a science quiz and the question was posed, what is the shape of the earth? The correct answer, even though wrong then, was that the earth was flat. But all these opinions did not flatten the earth. The earth was, is, and will always be spherical. So, the fact, or the truth, I'm using the two interchangeably, has just come up. It has been discovered that, oh, after all, the earth has always been spherical. And then we salute Galileo for wonderful work done discovering that the earth is spherical. So opinions cannot be proved. So if anybody asks the question, what if opinions are proved? The only answer is that that question does not exist because opinions cannot be proved. Then we have types of opinion. Judgment. Yes, somebody could say judgment could be proved, but it's still hanging. So you say that somebody is foolish. You have judged the person. The person might have done something foolish. Why you've judged that person that way. But to somebody else, your foolish person may be a very intelligent or brilliant person, which is equally judgment. Isn't it? So judgment, yeah, somebody can say he acted foolishly, so he has proved it. What about the other side where he acted intelligently, where he has proved it? So one person having both intelligence and foolishness, which is possible. At the end of the day, it is still judgment, which is opinion. That is why I like to use football examples, forgive me, dear ladies who don't enjoy football. One coach comes and then elevates one player and he uses him all the time. Another coach is installed, then that player is useless to him. Judgment, isn't it? Yeah. To some people, Ronaldo is remarkably the best, no doubt about it. To other people, it is messy. It is all argument here and there. But it is argued because either Ronaldo or Messi being better is still an opinion. Very difficult to. So judgment is one form of opinion. Then statement of obligation. Yeah, statement of obligation. He must be sacked. Yeah, you make that statement of obligation because you're judging the person, so it comes from judgment. You must leave the room right now. I must be out of this place now. Obligation on me. But you can't say that to be either a fact or what. It's not a fact, you know. You don't put that on in the bowl of fact. Then we have a prediction. Barcelona is going to be beaten by Bayern Munich 8-2. I have a friend who named his dog 8-2 after the defeat that Barcelona suffered in the hands of Bayern Munich. But it will be difficult. Somebody could actually predict the 8-2, and that's like lottery win, but it still remains prediction because there is a possibility of that not happening. So predictions still remain on the level of opinion. Sometimes you see the weather forecasters say that it's going to be a cloud burst, a heavy downpour at 7 p.m. this evening at the northern sector of the country. And then 7 p.m. the sun, difficult. 7 p.m. there is no rain. And now there could be a 7 p.m. there is really heavy rain downpour. Well, does that make that a fact? It is still a prediction because there is a possibility of that not happening. And when there is the chance of that not happening, opinion still remains opinion. They cannot be proved. And these are just types of the judgment, statement of obligation, prediction. Yeah. This boy, I like the way he lives his life. If he's going to grow into a very thoughtful adult. He may grow into a thoughtful adult. He may grow into a very bad adult. When there is a chance of that not happening, it's still an opinion. Yeah. Then we just like what they are, we have to evaluate them to see is opinion, is a fact. So evaluating facts. How do you evaluate facts? You want to be sure that they are up-to-date source of information. Up-to-date. So scientists, when we're children in primary school or JSS, or which became JHS, remember that my very eyes on the Jupiter, the ninth planet or something. 9 planets. Mercury, first, closest to the sun, and the final one, the last one, Pluto. But today, scientists say that we have 8 planets. Pluto doesn't qualify to be a planet because it's a dwarf planet. Well, so up to date. So if anybody says, how many planets do we have in the solar system? And somebody raises his hand and says 9, today that's wrong. So up to date, 8 planets. Who knows? We wake up tomorrow morning and we become 6. Or it may actually become 10 that they have discovered another planet, maybe called planet Cosmos. Just a joke though, please. And then we have 10 planets. Or 16 more planets. So, up to date, we are still discovering things. So fact, it should be up to date if you want to evaluate to be sure that what we are pointing at and calling it a fact is the information up to date. If it is up to date, then okay, then I think we are getting this is likely a fact. And then reliable and unbiased source of information. Reliable and unbiased source of information. So you want to get information, accurate information about COVID-19, then whatever you read or research into, you want to be sure, is this coming from a reliable source or not? The nose mask that you want to buy from the market, you want to be sure that, does this meet the standard acceptable or this is some shoddy work? You want to be sure. And so, you want to be sure that the source is not unbiased. It's not biased, I should say, but unbiased and reliable. It's not naturally true that if you want to find information about someone and you go to the person's best friend, you're going to have very beautiful things about the person and how hardly any negative thing. On the other hand, if you go to the person's enemy, you have very bad information about the person. So to a degree, a person's friend and a person's enemy, there's a possibility of not having accurate information. And if you go to a neutral person who say, oh, this is good in this area, but not so good in that area, and in that area, very terrible in that area, in that area, excellent. So you want to make sure that your source of information is reliable and unbiased. If the source is not reliable and biased, what you may be calling a fact may actually be an opinion, or not a fact at all. Then your source of information must be consistent with other known facts. Other known facts. So there will be already existing facts. And so it should be consistent with other known facts. So you evaluate facts, up-to-date source of information, reliable and unbiased source of information, and your source of information should be consistent with other known facts. So that is some of the ways we evaluate facts. We want to just quickly end this section by rounding up with evaluating opinions. So we evaluate facts, we evaluate opinions. So remember, we are not in any way saying that opinions are useless. They are not. Opinions are useful sometimes, even as they are not so reliable. They are not completely useless. Yeah, opinions they have their parts to play too. So how do we evaluate opinions? If opinions are supported by facts, then they are sound opinion, or we can say good opinion. And if opinions are not supported by facts, the light is gone. There's light out. Wow. And so if opinions are not supported by facts, then they are unsound. So we'll remember that opinions supported by facts are sound. The ones that are not supported by fact are unsound. What that means is that, yes, you may have an opinion, but you could point to specific facts that support the opinion. So that opinion may not be completely useless. But if it does not have any fact to support it, then you can throw away the opinion. When you go for an interview, for example, interviewers will listen to you and they are going to form some opinions about you, and they will base these opinions on some fact that you have demonstrated during the interview, and then that can inform their decision either to hire your services or to say no to you. So we have come to see that facts and opinions are two different things. And once we understand them, it is going to inform us to make a good thinking, to make a good analysis of things. So this is just one of the fundamentals of critical thinking, differentiating between facts and opinions. On that note, we would end this section. Take care. Have a wonderful time.